Yo, what's up, beautiful souls? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mamina. You can call me Mina or Divine Star Seed. We're going to hop into an amazing collaboration. Yes, again, it's a collaboration. I'm going to run the name of the readers on the screen so that you can check them out. The links to their video are in the description below. It's also a pick a card, so you might resonate with one pile here and then hop over there, choose a same number or a different number, and get a very well-rounded message. I recommend subscribing to all of us. You know, subscribing, interacting in the comments helps you to be a part of the collective that we're channeling. So your engagement is appreciated, and it also helps you with getting messages that are, you know, resonating for you. This is a collaboration. It is a pick a card. So only take what resonates to and for you. Leave what doesn't. Darlings, we have 3 piles to pick from here. Pile 1, 2, and 3. You may resonate with the art on the back of the cards, or one of them is vibrationally pulling you in more than the other. This is the time where I will tell you to inhale for the count of 4 slowly. Hold it for the count of 4, and then slowly release it for the count of 4. You can pause the video, do this a couple of times until you feel grounded, you feel like you're in your Zen space, and then when you hit play, choose the pile that resonates with you the most. And as a reminder, the links to the other readers' videos are in the description. If you're coming to my channel from them, welcome, thank you, you are appreciated, and do subscribe. Hey, pile 1, welcome, welcome, welcome. You chose this beautiful tarot deck right here. So we're going to hop right on into your message. The pre-channel part of this is, I feel like, group 1, your focus is alignment. Really being in alignment and executing some detailed plans in your life to elevate to a higher state. So you might find that right now you've just been in this energy of like, I can go higher, I can go further. And there may be some things trying to, distract you. That's the thing this year. You're going to hear that a lot, probably from a lot of people when it comes to working on something, trying to strive for something better, and there's just a lot of distractions. But that's how you know that you're on the right path. When a lot of things try to come in and knock you down, but yet you still have that strong feeling in your soul of this is what I have to do, this is what I'm meant to do and guided to do, and something keeps trying to rush in, blow you over, it's because you're on the right path and something doesn't want you to achieve your goal. Because once you achieve it, my love, once you achieve it, you're on another level and you start affecting this world in a massive way. Your spirit team is assisting you with a whole lot right now, and they're sending you signs of encouragement. They're sending you signs of also remembering to take care of yourself, because especially for those of you who are part of the spiritual community, we work, and all service is exactly that. It's about service. How can you assist others? And a lot of times with what'll happen is we get so caught up in that, like how can I help another? How can I expand someone else's consciousness, that our own health or mental state or whatever it may be sometimes gets neglected in order to get that content or that work or those sessions or those readings, whatever it is you do, Reiki healing, whatever. In order to get that out there, we'll neglect self a bit. So pile 1, remember to take care of you. Yes, many of you have families, but remember that taking care of you is very important. So let's find out what it is that your spirit team, spirit guides want you to know. What is it they want you to know? That you're about to have a celebration, a coming together of like-minded souls. Some of you are in divine unions. Oh yeah, some of you are in divine unions, whether you're with your person yet or not. But I feel like you and your person are going to work on amazing things together. Like this isn't just, oh, I found my one and that's it. It's like you balance each other out. And it actually helps when you collaborate with each other on projects. Some of you are already in a connection where you do that. You, be it husband, wife, whatever, fiance. I'm picking up on fiancés. Ooh, I seen flashy rings. Flashy rings. Whatever it is, it's like they encourage you when they give input. It's the perfect input. You guys really value what you talk about. For another vast majority of you, it's just coming into celebration with like-minded souls. Like, okay, these are the connections I was meant to link up with to help me go that extra mile. So if you've had a project you were working on and it's like, dang, I'm really trying to get this off the ground, but I need this one, I'm just missing this one piece. What could it be? Or I need help with this one area because even though I'm researching it, I still don't quite grasp it or know much about it. Spirit's like, listen, we have a team coming in here in the physical that's going to take care of all of that. Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. That's what I just heard. Somebody actually needs that. Like, you worry a lot when you start, I understand. I can resonate with this. You worry a lot when you start to fall behind or what you perceive to be falling behind. Let's see what else they want you to know. Let's see what the encouragement is here for pile 1 from their spirit team. Remember your power. And on some Mufasa, Lion King level-ish, remember who you are. You are more than your name. You are more than the ideas or labels that others could place around you that you can place within yourself. But let me remind you of something. We have this thing nowadays about labels, and people kind of just throw every single thing into that pot and make it something that it's not. At the end of the day, words have power. What you call yourself, how you dress yourself up in your mind, first and foremost, has absolute power over your domain. And everywhere you go is a part of your domain. The people you interact with, how they'll interact with you. I always tell you guys, what you tolerate is what you will receive. If you tolerate a certain level of disrespect, if you tolerate somebody constantly crapping on your dreams, poo-pooing on your, on what you want to be, you'll adopt it at some point, and then you'll start to act or operate from that space, and that's not the divine you. And that's when you'll get caught up in so-called quote-unquote labels, because you'll start being and acting like something that is either surface level or not even in the realm of what you are or who you are. Your spirit team is trying to get you to understand something. The people who are meant to support you are already here. I'm going to say that again. The people that are meant to support you are already here. Your job is to vibrate at the frequency that's necessary, that you align with them. This group is about alignment, okay? If it's a soul partner, a divine flame, or a soulmate, remember, one is path driven, one is heavily mission driven. Whatever, when you align with your destiny, you are setting yourself up for success. But you must have it in your mind that that's all there can be. So if a person sometimes, because some of you in this group, you might hear sometimes, oh, you're so strong because you went through this, that, and the third, and you get tired of hearing it because it's like, well, I'm not strong all the time. Don't get this confused. You're strong, but strong doesn't mean you can't be vulnerable. In fact, vulnerability is strength. I'm going to say this again. Vulnerability is strength. So it is okay to not feel like you have to carry everybody else, and that you can receive help, you can receive love, you can know that that's on the way. And there's also power in realizing that you can be there for yourself, that you can show up for who you are. So allow yourself that grace. And when you allow yourself that grace, it's so easy to extend it to others. You start to realize that some of the things that you feared for yourself were actually blessings because of the lessons that they gave, or you had no need to fear them at all because those versions of you were never going to be a problem. I'm not talking about the, quote unquote rogue shadow side of yourself. I'm talking about when you fear success, when you fear connection, when you have amazing and brilliant ideas, but you kind of water them, you water them down and can't go too crazy with that because realistically, you let the idea of realistically get in your head and it takes something away from what you were going to do. Now, there are going to be times when you need to compromise in order to build, to get up to a level where you can really express something or execute a plan the way you want to, but you have to believe that failure is not an option. And in order to believe that, you must have courage. And in order to have courage, you have to remember who you are. And it's not restricted to a name, though names can be powerful. That's why some of you resonate to change them from time to time. It's not just restricted to if someone just simply says an artist. You know, a lot of times people introduce me to someone, they go, oh, this is my friend Amina, and she's an artist, and she does spirituality work, and blah, blah, blah. And that's great. But there is a definition to me that surpasses the English language at some point. It surpasses any human language we can think of because it is purely vibration. And no matter what incarnation I've come into, I've always been a creative because I've always recognized that I'm a creator first. So when you start to realize you're a creator first, you're a divine being first, then you start to be more mindful in how you think about yourself and what you think and allow other people to either label you as or express you are. So yes, I'm an artist, and yes, I'm all these other things that are extremely creative, but I'm also something past that. So in knowing that, I never have to worry about someone trying to box me into a certain lane. You know, like, oh, you're an artist, you must only do oil paint. And I do whatever I want to do. You know what I mean? If I'm moved to do it, then that's what I do. If I'm intuitively guided, then that's what, if I just feel like it, then that's what I do. And I feel like some of you needed to hear that because sometimes, you know, there's stuff that you want to work on, and maybe it's a lot of things. Maybe it's a plethora. You know, you're multifaceted, and sometimes people make you feel like only this is your lane. Now, I'm not going to tell you not to pay attention and be open to when people are giving insight or advice. But I will say, if you're gifted to do a many a thing, sometimes it's about seeing how to create the gradient for them versus just feeling like you have to throw a part of a talent away that you identify so much with. But make sure that you're not limiting yourself to that identification alone, that if you did have to do something different, or if you were moved to do something completely different, you feel like you're kind of portraying yourself. Pay more attention to your intuitive nature. That took a little minute, so let's hop on into topic because we got a lot of other cards to get to. Okay, let's see where this is going, Spirit. Where's this going? For pile 1. Where's all this going? Do you know where you're going to? Do you know the things that life is showing you? 3 of Wands. Wow, guys. What I like about this 3 of Wands is the ship over here. It actually looks like it just set out. And normally there's 2 ships. And I would say, you know, one shipment is the incoming. The other shipping is what's going out. The vibration that you put out will pretty much set the tone for the vibration that you pull in. So it's really important to remember that and to recognize it. Let yourself be in a healed space, especially when you're working on things that involve a lot of connection, because you don't want to come to somebody and, you know, put your X on your next, as Lisa Nichols said, or put your drama-rama on the next group of friends or situation, and you end up being what self-destructs your own goal. Be mindful of what you say about others. I feel like this is going to resonate probably with all the piles, but sometimes, and look, it's not saying not to be honest, you know, sometimes a spade's a spade. However, be mindful of what you get caught up in. Be mindful of how you talk about others, because that's a vibration that you're sending out. Your blessings are already on their way to you. For some of you, the blessing is sitting right there. It's just that you have to be in the right frequency to really receive it, to really appreciate it. But it's already there. And if you notice, he's got his eyes focused straight ahead. He's not looking over to the side at what he's putting out. He's looking at what's coming in. You know why? Because he's already assured. Be assured in what you're doing. Be an authority in what you do, that you know, I'm sending out the right vibration. I said failure is not an option. So whatever I'm working on, it's successful. Even when something I'm working on doesn't quite go according to plan, there was a success in there somewhere. I'm going to celebrate it, because I know that when I celebrate it and I show gratitude, I amplify that that's the energy that I want. And that's the energy that I'm pulling in. So I'm already looking ahead because I can see my shipping on the horizon of what's coming back to me. Now, a lot of times, you know, the Three of Wands can be the patient card. It can be the wait card. It's also the messenger card. In this case, I feel like you guys are going places, because this can also be a traveling energy, a destination energy. You guys are traveling, some of you overseas, some of you are coming from overseas to like the US. Others are, whatever you're working on, it's international. Right now, you're probably just thinking, I'm just sitting in my little room and I bedazzle stuff. You know what I mean? But you're about to have the kind of success and the kind of career and the kind of lifestyle where you're going to be on the move. And you might want it right now, but you need to prepare yourself for it, because those same things that you get hung up on, people's expressions, whether or not you have the assistance you need, that can halt your path if you're not careful. So right now, your spirit team is saying, we're preparing you. We're sending you the signs, we're sending you the messages, we're preparing you for what's coming in so that you can genuinely accept it. Because it's nothing like asking and praying for something and then not being ready to accept it. And look at that, at the bottom of the deck, we have 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands, darling. Like, what I love about this one too, he might seem a little weary, but he's like, I'm still going to hold my position right here. I'm a little tired, I'm a little fatigued, and I do need to pause for a second and rest, and that's okay. You know, he can pause, he can keep his eyes open, but pause, lean on that stick a little bit, catch his breath, and then he's right back to standing up, because he's like, I know I'm right on the edge of what I need, the edge of my success. Before we get into the other cards, I'm going to roll some dice. I'm going to roll them like later. Let's roll some dice. We have 4, 17, which is also 8, 1, 1, 1, 3, 4, 50, which is 5, and 7. You can align them in the order that resonates for you. Check them out as master numbers, angel numbers. You could take them down to a single digit until you get to your life path number, and that'll be an additional message there for you. Let's hop on into, I'm going to be using 3 decks from V Love and Crystals, from our lovely V, who's also participating in this collaboration. She's also known as V Love and Tarot, so make sure you guys check her out, check out her shop. Let's hop on into this deck right here. I feel like this is also going to probably clarify some of the dreams you guys have been having. Dreams aren't always just, first of all, dreams are simply you working in other dimensions, messages trying to translate from different timelines and etc. It's very rare that dreams are like just what they are. They always symbolize a something, a meaning. But I feel like some of you have waking visions where you know, I explain this a lot. When you when you daze off, like you're looking at someone and you go far away in your mind, ask yourself before you fully come back, what are you saying to me? Higher self, what are you saying? Or spirit guides, what are you saying? Because there's a message there, and that's why you do it so much. That's why you space out. There's something trying to come in, and that's how it gets your attention. So sometimes you guys might be also sitting somewhere and a certain object or item just keeps popping in your mind, and you're like, I don't know why this is popping in my head. I didn't do anything today that should reference that, like a song and etc. And those are messages. I always recommend when you guys hear a song, don't take the words all the time for what you would assume to be the obvious reason. Sometimes you have to listen closely. What part of the song is standing out to you more? Remove what you think the artist means. Remove how everybody else takes it. What's the message for you? Like earlier, you know, don't worry popped up. A lot of you guys sometimes be worrying, and it's like, don't worry, be happy. It doesn't matter how many times he repeated the song, that that's like where you need to be in this kind of like, I'm just in flow. I'm in the breeze. Yes, I'm making sure that I'm aligned with my direction, but I'm not necessarily just being stressed out or not allowing myself breathing space. I'm allowing myself rest. That song can make you feel makes you think of like being in a car going for like a nice long drive, and you don't have to be the one driving the car. You can sit in the back seat and chill, you know, or you're in the park and you're just like looking up at the sky through the trees, through the, you know, it's springtime right now, so you're like looking up through the trees and just enjoying yourself. It can be that. It's very chilled, it's very relaxed. We have fan. I heard cool off, cool off. A desire for change and new experiences. But some of you might be having difficulty communicating with others. It's important that you express your desires. That's important. If with no one else, yourself. Be honest with yourself about what your desires are and your determination towards them, and you'll see it'll make it easier to start to communicate them. Don't get caught up on how you talk, because sometimes we all have a speech thing from time to time, especially when you channel energies. And however you may do that, Reiki, readings, whatever, however, we can get tongue-tied very quickly. It's so much that comes in at once, and it takes practice and training to sometimes be so comfortable that you can just let things flow off. But you can't let that distract you from communicating your dreams and your goals or desires to the right people. I'm not telling you to go and shoot your business to everybody. You know what I mean? But remember, you have a team around you. You have support coming in. There's a big celebration coming. Some of you, this is an event of some kind. And that's another reason you're being told to have courage, because it's a major event. It's leading to some type of like huge success. And you got to be prepared for it. So don't get caught up on how you talk. Instead, focus on the feeling, the happy feeling that you want when you talk about your desires, and let that be how you communicate with it, with mindfulness. We have pendulum, considering multiple choices, and that's the part that's standing out to me the most. Some of you might be fearing change, but the part that stands out to me the most is considering multiple choices. So I feel like for some of you, where this involves like a career path, you might be considering different ways to market yourself or market your ideas. We have zipper, convenience and productivity. Look at that. Yeah, a lot of you guys, it's like, listen. I remember I was talking about some of you feeling blocks, and we have difficulties, blocks, frustration. Some of you were really feeling frustrated with how some stuff was going, and it's like, don't be frustrated. Instead, focus on the fact that you're building what you need and what you desire. You get to control how proactive you can be in that and what it is that you produce. So when something tries to distract you and you're getting a bit fatigued and out of it, remind yourself of why you're doing what you do. Take the rest that you need when you need it, and say the things you need to say to yourself to get yourself motivated again to hop back into it. Be mindful of the convenience though, because sometimes when people kind of get like when things get to be so convenient and people are just so comfortable, they get a little lazy. So just be a little mindful of that. We have farewell journey, a desire for worldly pleasure. Remember I said some of y'all are going somewhere, you're traveling. That's the bottom of the deck. Let's hop on to the next one. On to the next, on to the next one. Let's see what else. It's another one of V-Love and Crystal's decks. Ooh. Dissolve any illusions of failure. Failure you can learn a lot from, but sometimes we're taught to view things in such backward ways, and then we wonder, how come I'm viewing this the way everybody said that was supposedly so successful, and it's not working for me as much? Because your ideas around failure are very warped based on that. There's a lot that you can learn from so-called quote-unquote not succeeding. Sometimes not succeeding is succeeding. Because whatever you were about to do and however you were trying to do it, it wasn't really meant to be done that way. Sometimes, and any of you that are readers, you'll resonate with this. Sometimes we set up and we get ready to do these collective messages, which take a lot of work. That's why it's appreciated when you guys engage in commenting or even donating towards them, because it's a lot to tap into so many people's energy. And we'll work on something. We'll set the date. We'll put it up. We'll go, okay, we got the topic. Spirit, let us know what we're supposed to talk about. And we'll go to film it. And it's like everything you could possibly think of gets in the way. Loud noises, disruptions, just like what the deuce is going on? And yet we're constantly being told, you got to get that message out. You got to get that message out. We start to get frustrated. And we'll start to think, okay, at this point, I'm 2 seconds away from going, look, Spirit, y'all going to have somebody else do this because the way my frustration level is set up, you know? And it's sometimes that distraction comes in because it's like, yes, the message is meant to be delivered. Yes, we're meant to talk about whatever it is, but maybe not that day. Because maybe the vibration of that day isn't the vibration that was needed for the conversation. It'll get done when it needs to get done. It'll be provided when it needs to be provided. And by getting frustrated, all we do is halt ourselves. So each day that passes where we're like, dang, man, I feel like I'm failing or not achieving the goal or the deadline or the this or the that. It's Spirit's way of saying, get your mind right. Because you're getting distracted. Get your mind right. Yes, there are things interrupting you, but the more that you feed into that frustration, the more you're setting yourself up. So dissolve all of that. Dissolve this illusion of failure. Dissolve this idea that you can't be perfect and perfectly imperfect at the same time. Because perfect in our society is built upon human craziness, right? Humans' craziness after centuries and almost eons of disconnection, right? So don't get too caught up in that, but understand that you were born with purpose. You were born divinely perfect. The divine doesn't look at you as an imperfect, incomplete thing. Only you do. And when you start to realize that, you start to realize that some distractions, yes, some of them are sent by like entities or things or people who want to, knock us off our trail, but sometimes they also come in because we may have not been in the right mindset when we were about to work on that thing that we were going to work on. Maybe that day wasn't the right vibration for what it was we were trying to channel. And instead of us being caught up on it's not working out, this broke on me, that broke on me, blah 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 blah, we need that reminder of dissolve the BS. Get rid of that energy, and also for some, dissolve whatever isn't working. Remember what we were talking about with people coming in that'll be of existence. So if there's someone around you who puts you down or doesn't encourage you or doesn't seem to be as enthusiastic about the stuff that you do, either dissolve that connection if it's the kind of situation where the person don't necessarily mean no harm, they're just not into what you're doing. Dissolve your concern about it. Okay. We're going to leave that there and pray that made sense to you. You might have to watch this a few times. We got 2 other decks to get into. So let's move it on along, baby. We have insanity. I used to tell people all the time, I'm a bit insane. It's okay to be a little crazy. Well, actually, sometimes there's a difference between crazy and insanity. Most artists are considered to be a little off. But the reason that is because we see the world in different ways. Notice that these are in spirals. Our entire existence is that. Everything in existence is a spiral, if you didn't know that. Your entire universe goes in these spirals in different directions, up, down, sideways. And I always tell people either you're spiraling upward, elevating, ascending, or you're spiraling downward. Not good. When you feel like life is hectic and it's insane and everything seems to just be dissolving around you or not quite working out the way that you want to, you have to redirect your focus and how you're translating what's happening. You have to redirect it. And you might be seen as insane for doing so, but that's okay. If you want to see the solution, because you can actually be considered insane for seeing a solution to a problem instead of festering on the problem. Like people who say things like, why are you so happy all the time? Why are you so effing miserable all the time? And why do you feel that because you're miserable all the time, someone else has to be miserable all the time, therefore contributing to this emotion that you clearly don't want to be in, but highly participate in? That's more insane than me finding positive outlooks. Yes, vent your frustrations. Vent when you're irritable. You got to get it out. You have to let it go. You have to sometimes closure is that. It's just letting an idea or something go, dissolving certain situations. But when things get hectic around you, remember that you're the pendulum and you get to decide the way that this swings, the extremes that it's going to go to. And if you align yourself and know what you will and will not tolerate, what you will and will not do, that crazy ass environment around you, you start to elevate out of it. And sometimes that's going to mean leaving certain people, leaving certain situations, places, and spaces. And that's okay. And you will be looked at crazy sometimes for doing it. Like, I can't believe so-and-so moved out of here, or this ain't for everybody, divorce this person, or whatever it is that you felt you had to do. But you did what you needed to do in order to elevate, because you're either spiraling upwards or spiraling downwards. Now, hopefully that made sense, loves. I can only say out of my mouth what channel's in. Okay? Hopefully it made sense to you. We have... Oh, I'm being told shuffle one more. Oh! Wow, that flew right out. Yin and yang. Coming into balance. Darlings, coming into balance. That's the card. They didn't want me to take the first card. They wanted me to take that one. So I'm just going to leave it where it is. And we have divination at the bottom of the deck. Spirit says, take this, don't take that. That's what we do. So the majority of you, it's all about getting, again, alignment. They want this message to stay. They don't want no distractions. It's like alignment is the key here. Yin and yang. Declutter your space is what I'm also hearing. Declutter your space. Make time to do that. It might seem frustrating, especially if you have like a bunch of other things to do. But this is what they want you to focus on. I'm going to tap into V's colorology deck as an aura deck. So we're going to pick up what's going on in you guys' aura, what colors are vibrating for them. And these are also colors that I would recommend wearing or meditating on to pull the energy in. We have honesty, kindness, inner peace. Lemon. Some of you guys also should like eat more lemons or use lemons in your beauty ritual for those who that resonates with. But I would recommend actually taking a really beautiful picture of the color lemon or a flower that has like a similar tint and just meditate on it, like look at it and just vibrate with it for a minute and let it download it into your system, pull it into your system. I don't always like to say download, but that's like the saying everybody says. But pull it into your system. So you want to say, okay, today, how can I be more honest with myself and others around me, but do it with kindness and keep my inner peace regardless of reactions? What am I also meant to just keep to myself for a while? And how can I do that and still have inner peace? I feel like somebody has a doggy like this, just standing out. Someone has a little doggy that looks like that. I actually know someone with a dog like this, but I'm feeling, yeah, a lot of you may resonate with having a pet. It's like a familiar to you. For some of you, it's a cat, but I'm seeing like little dogs. Some of you might also have a husky, a big dog like a husky, a dog that talks back a lot, be it little or small. They really talk back, and it's not just talking back, they're really conversating with you. We have amber, vitality, boldness, and happiness. When it comes to that honesty, that kindness, and inner peace, how can you be more lively? And like I'm hearing lively and vivacious. And how can you be bold in your statements? Be boldly you without like, be unapologetically yourself. And if you say, oh, I don't know what that is, that's fine. Everybody elevates, you know, you're constantly evolving. You're going to always find a new aspect of you. Notice that these colors are a little similar to each other. Amber is like a golden orangey color. Gold is still in like the yellow family. So a lot of colors that represent like sunshine or flame, like a light flame, will resonate. Some of you might be fire signs. We did have the Three of Wands and the Strength card come out earlier, and the Four of Wands. We actually, now that I think about it, yeah, we had all fire energy. Four of Wands, Three of Wands, you know. It's just once again saying you're coming into alignment and a lot of things are igniting in you. You're being an authority in what you are, Aries energy. You're focusing on how can I empower myself? As I empower myself, how can I impact and empower others? That's Leo energy when it's in the right vibration, you know. How can I go for what I want and be direct and know I'm going to hit the mark. Failure is not an option, Sagittarius energy. So this is what I mean when I say look at the zodiac as cosmic energy. You can be whatever you are, honey. Those placements can be whatever they are in your chart, but they're cosmic energy first and foremost. And they resonate different in every part of the world. Every part of the world has a different way of describing said energies, and they call them different things, but the overall meanings are the same. Be an authority in what you do, but maintain compassion for others. Believe in your power, but understand that real power empowers others, not controls them. Shoot your shot and know that you're going to hit the mark for what it is that you're meant to have. And anything else, let that dissolve at the waistline. Remember, when you feel like you're spiraling and you feel like you're going insane, or you feel like the environment around you is insane, change your direction. Go a different direction, because your designation is meant to be something greater. And look, I said what I said. Look at, didn't I tell you this is, look at that. It's the same color family. Bumblebee. Look like, some of you, I'm telling you right now, get the color yellow or amber, or some type of I like the golden orangey tones. Get that color in your house somewhere. Carry it on your person. Wear it more. I'm telling you right now. I don't want to hear, I didn't look at it yellow. Miss me with all that. You're being guided to do it for a reason. Get these tones around you. I don't care if you got to do it through flowers. Especially if you're in a space. I know a lot of people like dark colors and all that jazz, and that's cool. Add something in the space that livens it up, because this is a group that is very expressive or needs to become more expressive. You probably like a lot of colors, but for those of you that, you kind of like staying on the gray shade side, you need some color in your space. You're manifesting out of the environment. And if you're in an environment that doesn't align with you, then you need things around you that can encourage you. Some of you need to get a plant and take care of a plant. I always tell people when they're like, oh, you catch more bees with honey. Nah, you catch more bees with flowers, because they have to go to the flowers to get the nectar out to make the honey. So some of you need the flowers around you, because you're trying to produce out of the nectar, not the after fact project. Remember, honey is the after fact. Honey is what they make. You know what I mean? They make that, and that's how we get that. You want the source that they make it from. You want to tap into source. Does that make sense? I'm praying that made sense for you. We have youthful, spontaneous, and caution. Okay, so be mindful and cautious in how you go about what you do, but by all means be bold. By all means, get some color in your space. Some of you, some of you might resonate with beings like Oshun. You might resonate, even, Lakshmi and Ganesh, even though Lakshmi's putting a lot of pink, gold comes out of her hands. Okay, it just pours out of her hands into you. And remember, deities that represent a lot of prosperity, it's not just for money. It's also for health. It's also for mental state. You're trying to elevate on all levels. So if you're already a colorful person, you just need to pull more of these shades into your system. So I want you to actually focus on an image of these colors, or you can maybe pause this and focus on these and say to yourself, I'm pulling the energy of lime into my being. I'm pulling the energy of amber into my being. I'm pulling the energy of bumblebee into my being. And what else is important about bumblebee? Remember what we said about sacred unions coming together, divine connections that lead to prosperity? Bees work together. They work together, and they all protect the queen. Be you masculine or feminine. You get what I'm saying? So let me move on, because we'll be here for a hot minute. We have purple. Oh, and the two main things standing out to me on purple, honestly, is royalty and power. And we were just talking about power. We were just talking about that. And speaking of purple, which is another color you need to have around you and in your space, we also have the Purple Oracle by Divine Moon Empress. Let's see what else your spirit team is pointing out to you. What else is your spirit team pointing out to you? Think outside the box. Think outside of the box. I'm trying to make sure these aren't blurry for you guys. Hopefully they're not. And what color is that door? What was at the bottom of the deck? Well, well, well. Don't you let nobody box you in. We have cultural differences. I feel like some of you need to be exposed to more cultural differences, actually. But also, it's telling you that your soul tribe and your soul family, it's very diverse. Some of you come from diverse backgrounds. Once again, please do not fall for, this constant illusion and just miseducation of thinking that only one or two skin tones can be from this group or that group or blah, 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 and all that other jazz. You are all a part of the human family. You are all cousins to each other. And so do not be shocked if when you go through your family tree, you find a plethora of shades and variety. This actually just adds to your flavor, darling. If you are drawn to a certain culture, it could be because you experienced that culture in a past life, and people like to graze that over because there's so much just crazy things that go on that people feel like they have to either gatekeep or whatever they want to call it. And it's like at the end of the day, spirit going to do what spirit wants to do, and it's going to move people how it wants to move people. It could care less about your personal opinion. So if you're moved to experience a certain culture, travel to a certain faraway land or destination, there's a reason for that. There's some type of spiritual healing and guidance coming from that space. And I just heard my phone buzz like, yes, yes. Yes, yes. So you guys should say that. Yes, yes. Speak on it. But yeah, cultural differences are important in how you're collaborating. It's a part of that picking up on international energy. Speaking of insanity earlier, we have Mad Hatter. 10-6. 6-month 10th day is important for this group. That's what I'm hearing. I can't go back to yesterday because I was a different person then. Dissolve what's in your head that doesn't work. Stop wanting to spiral down, which can at times, not wanting to, but allowing yourself to spiral down, which at times can be that trying to go backwards, trying to stay in a box, trying to do everything from the perspective that you first had, and allow yourself to come out of that. Hopelessly devoted to you. Remember what I was saying about divine connections? Also, a flower that you may want to have around you. Pile 1. Whew, child, that was a lot. I hope that all made sense. You may have to listen to this a couple of times. I pray that that resonated for you and that it gave you some clarity, peace, love, and light, beautiful soul. Hey, Pile 2, what it do? We're going to hop into you, and you chose this beautiful deck, which I absolutely adore. I just got it. It's the little Buddha tarot. It's so perfect. The pre-message here, self-love, and how you can express it to others is a huge part of this group. Like, just really learning to appreciate all the beautiful layers of who you are. A lot of you in this group are definitely going through spiritual awakening, reconnecting with higher energies and how they express through you, and seeing your connection to the divine, to source, or whatever you may want to call it. And that's a beautiful thing. Your gifts are enhancing. I would actually recommend, I have other videos on my channel where I talk about what psychic abilities or spiritual awareness you're tapping into, and I feel like you group 2 would do well for that type of content. Don't box yourself in. Be open-minded. Always use your discernment. Separate intuition from opinion. Let's hop on in to what your spirit team wants you to know. What does your spirit team want you to know? What they're trying to tell you? They said 2 of Cups, my love. Coming into balance, my love. Meeting with people who are going to be of importance in your life. You've been feeling that coming. You knew that was coming. Some of you might be like, I knew the 2 of Cups was going to come. I freaking knew it. A lot of times the 2 of Cups is what I call the clinging of the glass, be it in a divine connection or in relationships that will develop to be something very important in your life. A lot of you, because you're on this journey, especially if you're doing business of some kind, the people that you meet have to be in the right energy and in the right vibration. The more that you allow yourself to feel the energy out and just be honest with what it is you're feeling energetically from people. Don't make up something in your head. The more that you'll come across those that you need to, and the cleaning of the glass is the meeting. It's the chance to really get to know each other and expand. I feel like someone's coming in your life that will assist you on your journey. Like they'll be similar to a mentor, but more like in a friend way. Sometimes when we say mentor, people think of mentors almost like a parent. You know, like when you think of gurus or yogis or senseis, they're great teachers, and sometimes they can have a parent-like vibe to them even when they're about your age, and you don't see yourself being able to say, well, that's a friend per se. But I feel like the person coming in your life to assist you would be a great friend to you. You know, to be a very strong friendship that just blossoms so many different opportunities. So don't go, if you're already in it, this is confirmation. If you're not, don't go worrying about trying to find it. It'll find you. You know, the energies lead the quote unquote student to the teacher every single time. And remember that whomever you might be led to, they are also a student in a sense. Never put any of us who are spiritual mentors, and I'm still getting used to people calling me or bringing in the title of guru, but whatever you may be, when you're in that position, the one thing I remind people is we are also expanding. And therefore, we must always stay open-minded to what the energies reveal to us while staying true to the core of who we are, because the core of who we are has expanded upon many lifetimes. And we come back teaching sometimes the same thing because that's how passionate we are about helping souls evolve and elevate. And in order to do that, we can't be in this holier than thou type of mentality. We can be honest about when somebody's, wrong or effing up on something that they, but we can't be in this whole position of I'm better than you, I do more than you. Let that go. So if you're on this journey and you found that you've thought that way, or you've come across people who tried to make you feel that way, they were projecting that onto you, cleanse that out of your system, because there are very important sacred meanings coming in your life that'll be of importance, that'll help you balance yourself out. And a lot of compassion and sincerity are around these energies. So, be mindful of that. Some of you might, resonate with the Cancer energy, because I'm picking up on Cancer. And I'm picking up on the intuitiveness of Pisces. So that's for us to start off with. And if it's a sacred union or a divine connection, it'll be very fulfilling. This real divine connections, especially when people come in with the right energy and they know what they're not going to tolerate, even if at first it's just one of you, it fills your cup, not empties your cup. You're uplifted in love, not falling. I'm going to let you marinate on that for a second. Let's hop on in to the next card. What is your soul team trying to tell you? They're trying to tell you you're about to have that 9 of cups, baby. I don't know why they just did that. They took I Shot the Sheriff and turned it into that. Your wishes are being fulfilled. We have the lotus here, the plant that grows out of the mud, that its beauty surpasses where it started from. So some of you might be started from the bottom, now we're here. These are the songs channeling in, okay? Just go with it. Also another water energy, and I feel like this time it brings in the transformative energy of Scorpio. I always say Scorpios go through a little death every day. Remember, they have poison in their body, and they're made the way they are for a reason. They represent what they do for a reason. They go through little transformations each day, but Scorpios have to remember to acknowledge this and to accept the evolution and not try to stay in a certain position because even if they weren't comfortable, they knew it. And again, I'm speaking of this more so from a cosmic energy perspective than just you being these signs. You could be Scorpio, you could be Cancer. I mean, more than likely, we got two water cups out already. But look at these as cosmic energy and how they affect you from that perspective. Cancers can feel on a very deep level, but they also have this determination to them that kind of gets underrated a lot of times. And Pisces are very intuitive, but if they ain't careful, they're too in their feelings, and then everything goes left. And Scorpios are very transformative, and they have a lot of deep depth to them. But it's best not to get too lost in those deep depths. You know, these are just some of the traits that are channeling through that you may resonate with happening in your life right now, and that you might find you have to navigate through. But there are definitely sacred connections coming in that are leading to wish fulfillments. Be this union with a partner. Again, this is the clinging of the glass. So I feel like it's more so people meeting each other, or, you know, friendships that turn into amazing business partners, or just long lifetime connections that you're always going to look back on and go, wow, like my life changed the moment I let myself be open to receive these kind of teachers and mentors and ways. So be open to learn. Be open to learn. I love that there's like a flamingo. You may also resonate with flamingos being your spirit animal, or you could come from a location with a lot of flamingos, because the flamingo is standing out to me a whole lot right here, and how he's just chilling on the back of it. Like, so a lot of balance is coming into your world, and spirit wants you to be aware of it. I want you to take note. This is what's coming in. All right, let's see the outcome of all of these energies right now. We have the Four of Wands, and I'm here to celebrate good times. Come on. Da-da-da-da. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. You're coming into unions and reunions with beautiful souls. Some of you might have already had like some type of teacher or mentor that you haven't seen in a while. And it's like it's all coming back. Everything's coming into alignment. And look at that. The World card. I love this because of the Avatar vibes. Avatar the Airbender. I love it for that vibe alone. And some of you are reaching, and I was talking about this on another video of mine. I cover the 7 chakras, is what people are familiar with, but there's actually energy levels above that, and there's actually other energy points in our body, right? There's different things that we can do with our meridians and all kind of stuff. I'm going to have more content on that. But a lot of you, you're elevating somewhere between that third eye and crown, and once you get past that crown, there's another level. So please do not think I've reached what. Nah, there's still keep going. You know, keep going. Expansion is eternal if we were to keep it all the way a buck. If we were to just keep it completely 100. But you're entering a new phase. You're birthing something amazing, and you're coming into connections that will help you bring in so much self-love and creative, just, I'm hearing like creative independence. So as you learn, you might be someone that wants to be like a self-love teacher, or it's just something about that. It keeps repeating, but you're elevating into new levels of yourself. And this is going to involve you appreciating who you are more. Now, this is channeling for some of you. It's not going to be for everybody. Some of you might be expecting little bundles of joy between this year and next year. That's not going to be for everybody. Some of you already have kids, and because you're elevating to this new level of you, you're also helping them to elevate, to understand, you know, you're always evolving, you're always changing. Let's go into the dice real quick for some numbers and hop on into these other cards. Ooh. We got the 9 of Cups up there, and we have a 9 on the dice. Yes. We have 7 and 1. So 971 is standing out. We have 2. We have 90, which is another 9. I just heard stay in line, 99. We have 6, and then we have 222. Okay, so these numbers may resonate as life path numbers. You can put them in any order that, you know, stands out to you, and look them up as master numbers, angel numbers, to get, you know, another continuation to your message. Lord, getting tongue tied. Let's go ahead on and finish clarifying this message, my darlings. Let's see. We're going to be using 3 decks from V Love and Crystals, aka V Love and Tarot. Remember that this is a collaboration reading, so check out the other readers in the links below. I'm pretty sure I've already run their names across the screen as a reminder, but just in case you wasn't looking at the screen. Check out her shop. We have fan. Oh, this is funny for several reasons, but I'm not going to say why. We have a desire for change and new experiences. Ta-da! Desiring divine connections that lead to ultimate just love and life and light and prosperity. Yes, it means that you might, some of you already been through the dark night of the soul. Y'all don't need to hear that all the time. I know some people get so commercial and don't even realize they're being commercial when they say things like, oh, the journey isn't just about the love and the light and the blah, blah, blah. Let me explain something to you real quick. Do you understand that the darkness that you see in space is light? Do you know that inside of a black hole, there's actually light? Did you know that? Oh, you didn't know that? They didn't tell you that, huh? Well, that's true. Do you know that you're only seeing, on average, 10% of the color spectrum of your world? And this is because you're not using your brain to its fullest capacity. Now, those of us who can tap into our mind on a deeper level, we get into those higher levels of consciousness, which are spiritual levels. Consciousness and spirituality are not two separate things. However, they can at times be expressed in a separate way. That when you do that, you're probably seeing 20 to 30%. As an artist, I can tell you right now, there are plenty of times I'm looking at these cards and I see colors that other people are like, nah, that's just regular blue. No, there's a gradient there, which is why I always tell you guys, I love to read the gradients. It's what I do. As we expand our consciousness, we see those other colors, we see those other spectrums. So what I'm saying to you is darkness in and of itself, depending on what kind of darkness you're talking about, is light. That or you're the light in a more twisted darkness. So when you're going through, for example, a dark time, you are not actually in darkness because you're the light bulb. You simply need to turn on. If you get caught up in everything must be shadow work, everything must be light work, you're swinging the pendulum too damn far off of the board. Okay? People get very commercially because they went through something, and because their thing was so harsh, they assume that everybody must go through the harsh version. Some people only went through light and butterflies and ooh, and therefore they think that the harsh stuff just isn't real. I've heard people say things like they don't believe in shadow work because when they're hearing what shadow work is, it doesn't make sense to them because everyone gives it a definition that's actually a little removed from it. For example, your shadow is the part of you that absorbed everything. It took in and hid it away. It hid in your depression, whatever it was, your lack of self-love. And it compiles and it compiles and it clogs like anything would. And when you don't vent, when you don't release it, stop making excuses about, oh, I can't have closure because this person. You can have closure the moment you decide in your mind that you want and therefore will have closure. It's just a matter of doing it and then every day putting it into practice until you master it. And then once you master releasing that energy, you purify self, i.e. you expel that which was no longer, that which was never really a part of you and doesn't need to remain. And then you begin to elevate into those higher light states, into those higher illuminated areas. This is what's happening. This is the mentor that, the mentorship that you guys are going through right now, is realizing that for some of you, yes, dark night of the soul, very intense. Oh, geez, right? But that at some point there is a light, and you cannot properly say that you are a shadow worker if you don't know how to work the light. And you can't say that you're a light worker if you don't know how to work the shadow. Period. If you don't understand that yin and that yang, then you are half butting it somewhere. And you're going to get half butted results in what you're doing. So for those who are open for that desire of change and that desire of evolution and realizing, like I said, Scorpios go through small deaths every day, right? You may not be a Scorpio, but you find you go through these small transformations every day. Eventually, you're going to hit that metamorphosis. And when you hit that metamorphosis, you see how this fan is spread out, showing all of its glory? Like a peacock, you're going to spread your feathers or spread your wings out and show all your glory, and you won't be ashamed to do it. And you'll see more in those color spectrums than you've ever had before. So whatever you do, whomever you may go to, as in their heart could very well be in the best of places. You might even be guided to them because you still needed to hear some of what they say. But be mindful of the commercial type of spirituality. Okay? Just be mindful of it. It's not here to shade anybody. Everybody evolves in different ways. But understand that the guru of yesterday may not be the guru of today for you. And at some point, my love, you will be in a position to teach and elevate others. So whether this be friendships, whether this be a partner coming in, at the end of the day, this is focusing on genuine desires and wishes. Something that surpasses just what what the mind made, what the material value. This goes deeper than that. That's why it's 9 of Cups and not just like 9 of Pentacles. It's not just about indulging in self, because the nines can, you know, they're very independent oriented. But in this case is, how can I express my wishes? How can I express living in this moment all the time? What you do, not fake it till you make it. I'm trying not to have them take me into like this, like almost lecture stage, but don't fake it till you make it. This expression can, you know, actually hinder a lot of people because they'll believe in the faking part so much. It's not about faking it. The thing is, humans don't like to, you know, you've been trained to not accept what you can't see, like to believe in what you can't see. So you say things like fake it till you make it, because if you're not rich, you'll say silly things like, well, how can I experience richness if I've never been rich? Right now, somewhere, there is an elder sitting in a cabin in the middle of the woods, barely anybody around, and they live the most rich, fulfilled life you could ever imagine. I'm not telling you to go off grid, but I'm telling you to change your perspective of what you think enrichment is. That's what I'm telling you to do. That's what I am suggesting, I should say, more so than telling you, because I can't tell you what to do, but I can make a suggestion. My job is to give guidance, right? What you do with the guidance is up to you. How you interpret it past this point is up to you. But if you're saying, I don't know what it's like to have a lot of money, well, money's energy, and the currency changes all the time. So what would it feel like if you allowed your imagination, which is simply you tapping into other realms of existence of who you are, your multidimensional layer, if you allowed yourself to feel the so-called joy and happiness that would come from that money situation, what would it feel like? Would it feel like paradise? Would it feel like laying on a flamingo float in a lake full of in a lake or pool full of lotuses? Is that what it's going to feel like to you? Then put yourself in that vibration. Feel the water on your back. Feel the breeze on the surface of your skin. Feel the sun beaming down on you. Feel it. Make it tangible. Make it real. And you will find that as you work on those goals now, doors open. Now, this can be hard to do for many of us. Even those of us who teach it have to remind ourselves that we can do it, because we're still living in the world. We still hear the naysayers. We're all still having the human experience. This is why I say humans are interesting. Sometimes it's hard to identify with different levels of human. But you'll understand as you reach enlightenment stage. Sometimes you're like, humans are interesting, bizarre creatures. But powerful and enlightened all at the same time. This is such a sacred journey. So give yourself that grace. You guys will hear me talking about that more, because I keep hearing that the message this year for all of us is to start to stand in the power of our grace and how we expand it to others, and people who are showing us that they want to be in that grace, and we show them that we want to be in theirs. And that's what meetings like this is. Hi, I see, namaste, I see the God in you. I see the goddess in you. Wow, really? Cool. Let's enlighten each other. Awesome. You know what I mean? I feel like this is helping me gain my independence. Me too. Isn't that great? Yeah. We should share the richness with the world. We totally should. Right? Yeah. Party over here. What's up, everybody? This is how we do it. Like that kind of vibe. Fan out. Sometimes they send me on these tangents, and I'm like, or I should say my higher self, because she don't have a filter, she don't. We have belly dancer, strength, body confidence, sensuality. And that's when I said what I said. I don't feel like I need to elaborate that card. I'm going to let y'all tap into your intuition and handle it. I'm going to say it again. Strength. We know strength taps into power, right? We know that it taps into courage, expressing yourself from a position of I am that I am. And the I am is not singular. I know you've been taught that. It's not the case. I am is what connects you to me, forms the we, which is the us. It all brings us together in the tapestry of life. Okay, we have body confidence, loving the frame and the archetype that you are in right now, but also realizing that you can mold it how you want to. And it starts with your words and your thoughts. So if you're saying right now, I could be healthier. Okay. Have the mentality, set the goal, get it done. We can all use that reminder, even myself, right? If it's, I want to be more muscular, I want to be a little thicker, whatever it is you want to be in reasonable measurements, meaning you're not just trying to change yourself for someone else, whatever. You're not trying to fit some type of crazy extreme. but you want to just be the best version of you. Have confidence with the version of you that's now and start to feel it so that you can manifest, because you're already this person. You just want to quantum leap in it by matching the vibration. The sensuality. Now I already can tell you that that's a divine feminine energy, but don't get it twisted. Masculines have a feminine energy within themselves. Again, a part of body confidence is realizing how sexy and smooth you are. And I'm not talking about to manipulate or please another, but to please yourself. When I give teachings on sexuality, it starts with yourself, honey. And when I mean that, like when you're tapping into the sacred sexual energies and how to express it, even with Kundalini, which can activate that kind of energy, the first thing I would teach someone is it starts with you loving the sexiness of you, you loving the sensuality of who you are and the allure of who you are. That's what puts you in such a position of confidence that you can't be so easily swayed by just anybody, because you know what you bring into the table. By the time a partner comes towards you, you know you're still open to learn, but you know what you want. Now, this is channeling the way it is for whatever reason. We're going to let it be. But I also feel like some of you are into like belly dancing, which is awesome. I miss doing belly dance. I need to get back into it. It's a great exercise too, by the way. We have finally independence. What I tell you was about freedom and self-resilience. Period. I'm reading the parts of the cards that matter for the message. Bottom of the deck, we have hourglass. Some of y'all are really like, I'm trying to get my figure together. Masculine or feminine, you're like, I'm trying to get this figure together. But here's the thing. When you start to stand in your illuminated state more and more, you find that your features and your, like, everything about you changes. You look in the mirror. I remember saying to myself 2 years ago, I used to say this when I was really little too. I would look in the mirror and I would be like, the Mina you are today is not the Mina of yesterday. Because I was a little kid and everything I did was cute. But as an adult, I remember channeling a message, and then I heard 3 months from now, you're someone else. You're you, but you're someone else. You're this more evolved level of who you are, which is why I'm always speaking on expansion and evolution. And every now and then something can happen and it puts us in a mentality of, well, don't seem like we evolved that far. Come up out that energy. Come about that energy. You're going to look in the mirror as you're getting healthier, as you're getting a healthier mentality, as you're standing strong in a higher level of consciousness and spirituality. You will not recognize yourself. There's a different glow. Like even features could change. It's like you start to become the you that's been locked and tucked away in a little corner. I call it the hidden self, and it's a very powerful version of ourself. Very powerful version. I have all kinds of teachings on that version of self. We have hourglass, seeing from a different perspective. And I also feel like, and I'm hearing from many of you, it is time. It is time. Like on some trying to get Simba to get his ish together. It's time for you to be king or queen. Stop putting it off. Let's move it on along. Move it on along. Let's get all 3 cards out right now, Spirit. Okay, they said, okay. You ain't saying nothing but a word. We have support. Put this down for a second. We have support. Stacking the cookies high. We have endurance. And lastly, we have rewards. And that's on I Said What I Said. Bottom of the deck, we have, is that, oop, my camera skipped. Let me make sure it's still recording. Okay, we have profession. So support is coming, and keep enduring. This doesn't mean not to rest. It just means keep enduring. Because the rewards, the celebration, celebrate good times, is right there. It's right on the edge, my loves. Let's move these up a row. I'm like totally doing this where I can't see. I'm going purely off of vibes. There we go. Now we're going to get into the aura colors. I'm pulling this from, and of course this is also one of V's decks. I'm pulling this from the Colorology deck. We're going to tap into the colors and the aura that's around you right now. I recommend meditating on these colors, wearing them more, having them in the house. Please do not give the excuse if I don't look good in that color because you don't believe you look good in that color. We have cream, quiet, pleasant, natural. You got cream in your coffee? That's what I just heard. Hey, that's for whoever that's for, but that's what I just heard. Quiet, as in a quiet space. I feel like it fits this harmonious, just floating in the water vibe of the Nine of Cups. Pleasant. It's not just about being pleasant. It's about allowing yourself to have pleasant experiences without thinking of self-sabotage. That goes back to that needing self-love and realization. And just being natural. I feel like you're natural at what you're destined to do already. You can learn a lot, you know, so keep learning, but you're natural with it too. So like when you help people, you're natural. Whatever you work on, you're natural with it. Sometimes you just get a little too into your head. Ooh, they got me getting tongue-tied over here. We got olive green, humanity, diplomacy. Oh, I gotta stop right there because as I'm seeing these hands exchange what they're exchanging here, and the Two of Cards is flashing, I'm actually seeing a person that's coming in that just embraces you. They embrace you for who you are right now, but they remind you on a consistent basis you are evolving. You are so much more than your current state. And every time like you reach a level of success, they're right there to be that helping hand. They're right there to be that reminder. So olive green may not be everybody's favorite color here. You might also need to like eat olives more. Check, you know, I can't give you medical advice, but you know, check, and if it's okay, if you're not allergic or anything like that, olives might be something good to add to your diet. I'm just was channeling in for some of you, but I recommend focusing on a really pretty olive color and pulling these energies in towards yourself. The work that you're destined to do has a lot that it can contribute to humanity, and I feel like there's somebody coming in your life that's just really good at helping you see not only the power for humanity within yourself, but the higher levels of it too. Like you're more than just this sacred body. This body is sacred, this vessel is sacred, but you're more than that, and it can do so much more. So some of you who might have had like health issues that were pretty serious, healing is coming out of this as well. I had to stop. Like we also have perception on there, but I had to stop and like point that out. We have optimism, hope, friendship. And at the bottom of the earth, we have navy blue, trust, dignity, intelligence. Let's hop on into the purple oracle by Divine Moon Empress. So again, I recommend looking at these colors, meditating on them, saying to yourself, I pull in the energy of the color cream, and then think of those words that resonate with you from that card. I pull in the energy of the olive green, which is also about earth. So some of you here might be earth signs, or you resonate with the grounding energies of earth, be it Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. I pull in the energy of that yellow, which has the sunflower card in it, which makes me think of the sun card in the tarot. So you're pulling in the outcome that leads you to the most fulfillment and happiness in your life. These are the energies that you're centering in on and calling into your being right now. So wear them, put them in your house. Some of you might already have like a lot of cream in your space, but add a little color to it. With olive, if you don't have a place to put it per se, then like get an olive shirt, like a nice cute olive shirt, or like a little picture of something that's in the olive color that, you know, and meditate on it from time to time and see what downloads come to you. Look at these colors as auras. Auras come in more shades than what you would think. From the Purple Oracle, we have Mermaid under your spell. Especially with that sensuality card, and for some of you, this being like sacred union of some kind. But even then, like, people just flow with you. We have the shipment coming in. We have that shipment coming in saying, hey, this is what you've been working on. I got you. Those reward, shipment. Right? Some people, and this is the thing, it's not under your spell like you really had to do much. You started to be more in your power. You started to allow yourself to really feel the alluring person that you are. I'm getting like Queen of Wands type of energy, being able to recognize your own magic and really tap into it. This is what you guys have been doing and putting in work for, and it makes it seem like people are under your spell. Because they're guided to you. They're led to you. And you're led to them. We have Crystal Ball. I see a future with you. What did I say? Remember I said some of you, this is sacred union? Also for those friendships, they see a future with you. Your person will probably start off being like a best friend to you. This is funny for several reasons, and I'm not going to say why. If you know, you know. Hopelessly devoted to you. So you got mentors coming into your life, people you can learn from. Don't be cheap with your mentorships now. Put in that work, but you also have it leading you towards sacred union. We have Dreamcatcher putting up a wall. It's time to let go of always putting up a wall, fearing whether or not you're giving too much of yourself and all that jazz. Listen, those who are meant to be in your grace will show that it's all about what you tolerate. And my loves, that was your reading, pile 2. I hope that resonated for you. Peace, love, and light, beautiful soul. Hey, group 3. What does it do, my lovelies? Please remember that this is a collaboration. Check out the other readers. Links are in the description. You chose this gorgeous tarot deck right here. Let me make sure the camera is actually showing you the greatness indeed. Okay. So you might be into Studio Ghibli. The pre-channel here, my loves, you guys feel very mystical and magical indeed. You probably resonate with actually being very into mystic works and practices actually. But I feel like you're going through something heavy, or you just came out of going through something heavy. I'm picking up that a lot of you had like imaginary friends that weren't really imaginary when you were growing up, because you didn't invent them. They were just beings who you could clearly see that would come in and assist you and protect you, maybe one in particular. And you might be feeling that being's energy around you now, and it's flashing you back to childhood. I feel like a lot of inner child work is necessary here. Again, I'm not talking about something that had a negative vibe or intent towards you. This feels like a protecting energy. This feels like a genuine soul friend. And since these are messages from your spirit team, it would make sense that this is just one of those team members. And now that you're diving deeper into certain practices, tapping into the mystical side of who you are, tapping into this heavier spiritual side and how to work that magic within you, this being is able to communicate, or is trying to, with you again. So remember, be mindful, use caution, always pay attention, keep your protection high. But I feel like this energy is familiar to you. Like a familiar. But you probably would have described it as a friend growing up. Let's hop on into your tarot. I feel like some of you guys need to really get out in nature. If you have a backyard, it's got dirt, it's got grass, or it's got dirt, go out there. You can start there. But I do feel like you need to drive out somewhere, catch a bus out somewhere, and just soak up nature. Just be around some trees. If all you have is a park, cool. Again, be mindful, but you need to get grounded. I'm seeing like all these different feet. Interesting, because I saw a video not too long ago where a woman was grounding herself with her feet in the dirt. But I'm seeing like male feet, women feet, all different skin tones, and everybody's toes are like wiggling on the soil. Also, the earth needs this too. The earth needs a lot of energy and assistance because it's going through it right now. We have 3 of Swords. Like I was saying, some of you guys have been going through it. You might have been feeling lonely, or maybe even disappointed in, you know, certain people. I'm really sensing like somebody's sitting in a room and just, I'm not vibing with anyone in here. It's not that you don't love them, and maybe you know they love you, like if it's family, friends, but you're elevating out of certain settings and certain environments, and it's just this, it's not cutting it anymore. Like being in that space, being around certain mentalities, just you can't anymore. It's like I feel like I need to elevate out of this. But you might have been feeling stuck. This group is split. It's like some of you are in that transitioning out of it period, and others are in the thick of it, like in the thick of that heaviness right now. But you got to be mindful. You have to be mindful that you're not putting up such a guard that that place that you want to elevate to, that loneliness that you want to free yourself of, that you're not actually forcing yourself more into it. I'm hearing, this is a song I actually love a lot, and this is one of my favorite movies. So again, a lot of you feel mystical. You have a lot of depth to yourself. Sometimes those depths can be a bit dark. But it's from the movie The Crow. And it's the verse that says, "It won't rain all the time. The sky won't fall forever. And though the night seems long, your tears won't fall. Your tears won't fall forever." Like I'm hearing that song. So you might love the movie The Crow as well. Crow, and this is like the upteenth time that that crows have channeled in as like someone's messenger or spirit animal. So that's your totem animal. For many of you in this group, it's a crow. And you're going through some heaviness right now. For some of you, it might be health related. But that divine intervention is there. That protection is there. You just need to allow yourself to accept it and feel it. And operate from that mentality instead of I don't want to say Debbie Downer, because I feel like for some of you that's far too light of a description of what you're experiencing. But if you live in the disappointment, it will breed more disappointments. If you live in agony, it can only give you more agony. You have to reach for something out of that. You have to reach for the light. And I'm remembering a scene from Stray Dogs where the character, there's a young character in a kimono in it, and she says, "I wish you would have never shown me the light." But in reality, you're meant to see the light. You're meant to see it. You're meant to be a part of it. You're meant to elevate. You can't be in darkness all day. Darkness is another form of light when you really start diving into understanding deeper things. But it's important for you to come out of toxic levels, because those toxic levels, that's the area that's the murky, dreary, you know what I'm saying? And you have to realize that you're the light in that darkness and allow yourself to shine out of it. So when you're saying to yourself, "I just can't see the beacon of hope," there is a reminder next to you saying the beacon of hope is you, and it's always been you. If you've ever seen this film, and if you haven't, I'm recommending it. Don't give me, "I don't watch anime." Watch it anyway. I'm gonna tell you right now the storyline. Watch it for the story. It'll all make sense. But this character is like her guardian in a sense, and she couldn't really remember him at one point. And you'll just watch it, because that's what I'm feeling like. Spirit is saying you need to watch Spirited Away. You need to watch it. If you've already seen it, then you understand where I'm going with this. And remember I said imaginary friend? It's not an imaginary friend, it's a spirit guide, or someone that you used to communicate with all the time, and a disconnection happened, and now they're like, "But I'm back. Like I never really left you. I just want you to hear me now so that you can receive the guidance you need. It won't rain all the time. The sky's not going to fall forever." I keep hearing it. "And though the night seems long, your tears won't fall." Like that song, I feel like that song and movie is a sign for someone here. The Crow and Spirit Away. Ooh. We have the Tower. That tower is, whoo, child, listen. Yeah. That which is built on a faulty foundation must crumble in order for something beautiful and magnificent to grow in its space. In fact, sometimes it's not even about being on the grounds that faulty system was built on. It's about being flung completely out of the way in a complete different direction altogether. it's about actually, you guys should also watch Howl's Moving Castle, but it's about actually coming out of the world that you thought you knew and you understood, that you thought you had to be a part of for whatever the reason was, and actually allowing yourself to go to new spaces. And sometimes that happens through these breakdowns, these heavy breakdowns, but because they lead you to the breakthrough. You can't live in the breakdown. You experience it, you learn from it, you see the blessing in it, you move forward. And you understand that protection is there. Do not mistaken this spirit guide for someone who's not saying that they're coming in the physical, because they are. They're like, I come in many different representations in the physical world. I've been that stranger that assisted you when you thought no one else would. I've been that friend that called you in the middle of the night because you were thinking something crazy, or that person who messaged you one day and said you were on my mind. Whatever it was, and they've shown themselves in different ways. And I feel like, again, it's one of those situations where your spirit team from spirit realms are bringing you the people in the physical that are necessary. And sometimes, for those of you who understand, you'll understand this, and this will resonate. For those of you who don't understand, you will in time. Sometimes those spirit guides will come in flesh. They will reveal themselves in a person. This is why sometimes we meet people and we're like, I feel like I've known you all my life, because you have. In many incarnations, in many ways, and they've always come in as some type of mentor, guide. You may resonate with another pile, but they've always come in as some type of beacon for you. And that familiarity is because you do know each other. There's your soul family. There's a soul bond. You just got to be mindful to not block them out, you know, especially if it's been a minute since you've allowed yourself to be open. We have Queen of Swords, further proving the point. You know, you have the amazing gift of discernment, but sometimes your need to close people out or do things on your own can tend to get in the way. It can tend to get in the way of you expressing what you need to express. And Spirit is saying, this Princess Mononoke knows that Mama Wolf got her back all day, every day. But she was so, everybody must be the same, and everyone's just against us, and it's us against them, that when help came in, she didn't want to accept that help. She didn't want to receive it because she thought it was a lie. She didn't want to believe that this person was really what they said they were about, but they were. Not only were they, but they were determined. Regardless of what she said, they're like, I'm going to help you, whether you want to get helped or not. You know, so keep using your discernment. Trust your intuition. But do not mistake it for opinion, and do not take the experiences of this and that tower needing to crumble as I have to now be just this hard ass and this, like, you know, the Queen of Swords can be a bit of an ish when she wants to be, and it actually can hinder her. So you want to stay in a more elevated space. The inner working of the Queen of Swords is the Queen of Cups, the compassionate side, the expressive side. Don't be too closed off, but use your discernment. Keep that watchful eye. You know, I'm also getting like a 5 of Pentacles vibe. Like, again, you're feeling alone or abandoned. Like, I keep seeing this pose in different ways. Like, you're not. You feel out in the cold right now. You feel like you're struggling with something personal on your own right now, but you're really not. Bottom of the deck, we have King of Swords, and look who it is. The person I was talking about. We have Princess Mononoke, and we have the person that she was like, you're not, you're just one of them. He really wasn't. Right? And the King... Well, actually, I said the King of, did I say King of Pentacles? I meant to say King of Swords. He's a King of Swords. But this character, and again, the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, their inner workings is the Cups. Somebody's coming in your life to bring stability, because I think I said King of Pentacles when I clearly read King of Swords. So somebody's coming in to stabilize this energy for you. But the King of Swords is a strategist. Yeah. So instead of being in a worry-wart mind, instead of being in this doomsday, the towers are falling, I don't know what to do, I just feel alone, blah, 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 all that mentality, it's more like, how do you work your way out of it? What's the strategy here? But come from a place of compassion towards yourself as you do this. Don't be harsh on yourself. Again, Queen of Swords, she can be kind of harsh sometimes, but amplify the determination within you, because the tower is not here, and the tower is translating different for some of y'all. For some of you, yeah, it seems very hectic, destructive, crazy. What's going on? I'm like out here by myself hanging from the windowsill. Let go. Because perhaps you're not meant to stay on that faulty ground anymore. Perhaps you're meant to go somewhere else. This is a moving like machine thingy. I forget what it's called, but it moves. It walks on its own. Sometimes you got to leave a certain space in order to evolve, and when you take your sweet time leaving, spirit goes, okay. Most of the time it's your own higher self. Your own higher self will be like, oh, so you want to sit there and act like this ain't falling apart? Let me give you some motivation. And it breaks things down around you, because that's what needed to be done. That's what had to happen. Let's roll some dice before we get into the next deck of cards. Oop. We have 2, 2, 2, 8, 4, 4. 44 is also another 8. 15, 6, 1 and 5. 70, which is 70, and 1. So look these up as angel numbers, master numbers, and you can also take them down to the single digits for life path numbers as well. And you'll have a continuation of your message. Let's hop into clarifying the rest of this. We have family, bitterness, jealousy, or rivalry. I feel like that's what some of you guys who feel alone are going through. But yet sincerity, warmth, and love is what's coming to you. That's what, it's not just on the horizon. I feel like it's right there. You're just not in a space right now where you can really allow yourself to fully see it, but it's right there. And if you look at Princess Mononoke, Mama Wolf is always with her. That's her pack matters. Your pack, your soul tribe is around you and or coming to you. If they're already in your life, you just need to tell them what's going on so you can receive that charge, that energy drive that you need. Sometimes it takes just words. Words are so powerful. Words along with action, even more so. We have games, rest, relaxation, and the good life. You might have been dealing with a lot of immaturity, competition and rivalry, but you're being told it's okay to rest, it's okay to relax, it's okay to let go. The people who are falling away are meant to fall away. Whatever's going on with your body, whatever's being purged is meant to be purged. It's just that simple. It might seem hectic, but it's what has to be. We have lavender, sincerity, grace, and femininity. Right. I feel like somebody should drink some lavender tea. Just came in really clear as day. Put lavender plants around your house to help amplify the energies in your space. Let go of depression. Healing emotional burdens. You were going through a loss of hope. You were going through something really dark and dreary, but it's time for you to heal. I've only been pulling 3 cards per deck, and your deck, this one asked for another one. Bottom of the deck, we have pencil. Expand your way of thinking. Stop being in a struggle mentality. Struggle mentality breeds a struggle mentality. Be solution oriented. Think more so of the strategy. Oh, and look at that, the world card. I was just talking about you need to watch Howl's Moving Castle. And the world card is underneath that. If you watch Howl's Moving Castle, this character is going to really be important for you. That character right there. Her too, but that character right there. And if you watch Princess Mononoke, you should, because that's what you're being told to do. You'll understand everything I'm saying right now. Like, I won't really need to elaborate much further than that. Be solution oriented and not doomsday mentality. And when you say I can't think of the solution, it's only because you're telling yourself that you can't think of the solution. Some of the answers are right here in front of you. You have a spirit team. You have guys that you can talk to, but you got to be open to hear the message. The Queen of Swords can sometimes be closed off. But when she works together with that King of Swords, when they both tap into their Cups energy, they're within, King of Cups is he masters his emotions. He masters his abilities by understanding himself. And that way he knows when to express and when not to, because the King of Swords can be cold otherwise without that inner working. The Queen of Cups can come off very on guard. You can't get through. No. Until she realizes that compassion is the key to her grace, and that her grace is the key to her, is part of her solution, it's the key to her success out of whatever she's dealing with. We have emptiness, and this is actually a good thing. I'm going to tell you why. Because yes, you were going through the depression. Yes, it made you feel empty, but an empty cup can be filled. And when you start to fill your cup with the abundance of who you are, it will never run out again. This is an illusion. But sometimes we must empty the mind, i.e. empty our cup, let something go in order to fill it with what's necessary, and then keep that abundant energy in place. We have careless. You know, letting go of stuff. I just feel like this group needs to purge so much. You might have found yourself being careless towards your own needs, towards your own health, because you were in this depressed state. It gets heavy. Like right now, it's like the heaviness on the chest, like it's hard to breathe. It gets heavy, and sometimes you find yourself in the whatever. Whatever. I used to be the queen of whatever. Okay, like my whatever is dangerous. But you can't stay in that mentality. You can't stay in that space. Your mental space is of the importance right now. We have a lot of, we have Three of Swords. We got the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords. A lot of what's going on with you involves your mental state right now and your mental health. And you can't be careless with that. You can't be. You have to allow yourself to heal. You have to be open to heal. Right? Because some of you might have went through a loss. That could be another reason you're in this state. You're going through a transformation. But I feel like some of you might have went through a loss. Like there could have been a recent death in the family. Maybe there's like fighting. Maybe, again, like the older you is dying off. And that, while that can be a blessing, it can also at times for people be a painful experience. The you that you once knew is transitioning over so that the new you that's trying to integrate, or rather I should say the core you, the you that you were always meant to be, can fully integrate. And sometimes that means letting go of situations, spaces, people, and things. So it can seem like the death of a relationship, of an older version of you, even sometimes family, but you got to do what you need to do in order to stand in your power. And really, I want you to understand something. Standing in your power isn't to be lonely. Standing in your power helps you realize the people who are meant to be in your space and the ones who will really genuinely be there for you. So don't be afraid to let go of people who were never really there for you to begin with, because there are so many people who want to come in and be of assistance, and you matter to them. You will matter. You have such an important role on this planet. You weren't born just to go rogue and call it a day. So many souls go rogue because they give up. And then they end up becoming what they hate. That's not your path. Your path is to stand in the light as much as possible, but you got to get through this dark first. You got to go through it, not around it, not over it, not under it, but through it. And once you get to the light at the end of the tunnel, you'll realize I was the thing that was illuminating my way the whole path. And then those people who need you, those people who you'll matter to, you'll help save them. It's like you have that ability to save souls, but you don't realize it yet, because right now you feel like you need saving. Assistance is right there. We have this. Yeah, you might resonate with another group because this card came out before. We have profession. I feel like somebody's a perfectionist. That's what's channeling with that. Somebody's a bit of a perfectionist, and that gets in their way a bit too. Once again, I was led to pull another card for you, and wow, it's insanity. Yeah, you're probably going to resonate with another group. The other group's going to seem drastically different, but you're going to resonate with it. I'm not going to tell you which one. Tap and use your intuition. We also have rewards, another card that repeated, and it's back again. You will reap the rewards of your hard work. Let's hop into your aura. I'm trying to speed this up because I feel like my battery's low, which is crazy because it was fully charged, but it might be spirit saying, okay, wrap it up. Wow, yeah. Check if you were moved to check out another pile, do so. If you're moved to check out all three, do so. They're the repeat of cards. We have Navy, trust, dignity, and intelligence. You have a lot of intelligence. You see all this sword energy that came out for you. Aquarius vibration, Gemini vibration, Libra vibration, needing things to be in balance. Right? Needing to tap into deeper knowledge and understanding, more futuristic way of looking at life. And that futuristic doesn't mean soulless, robotic. It means forward thinking. I plan for what's ahead, not by necessarily trying to always live in the future, but by thinking of how the present molds the future. Gemini energy needing to be in harmony with yourself. Balance and harmony can seem like two different things sometimes. Sometimes some part of life is in balance, but not necessarily quite harmonizing. You need both balance and harmony to be it, go co hand in hand. You might find your emotions can be fickle from time to time, or people around you can be fickle. So again, these can be in your chart, but they're more so coming through as cosmic energy. I always have to remind people of that. And then we have that Mars energy with the Tower card, which brings in authority, the inner conflicts, the war within oneself, and figuring all of that out and getting that in order. I recommend meditating on the color navy, saying that I'm integrating the color navy into my system, the truth and the dignity and the intelligence that it carries. Maybe put something navy around your house. Wear the color navy. Don't come with the whole I don't look good in navy. Do what you got to do. We have banana. Remember I kept saying health? Somebody has to take care of their health. We have health, happiness, and good times. Focus on the good times. Allow yourself to feel the energy of happiness. It's a healing effect. It has a healing effect. Take care of your health. And if you lost somebody recently, don't let your health deplete, because that's not what that person would want. They wouldn't want you to come join them because you didn't take care of yourself. Somebody needed to hear that. That could be a bit of a trigger, but someone need to hear it. Triggers are meant to be triggered so that you can cleanse them, not keep them. We have hot pink. Vibrancy, electric, and rebellion. It's time to rebel against this depression. It's time to get electrified. It's time to look at how the colors transition. The dark color, like going through Dark Night of the Soul, right? The deep depth of the sea, heading into this really bright pastel banana, and then heading into this really intense hot pink. Like, this is what has to happen. Then we have rainbow, diversity, fun, and optimism. This is your aura colors for right now. And these are the colors that you can wear, place in your home to help elevate your vibration and meditate on and see what else you channel from them. Last deck. Wow, did that really just fall on the floor like that? I don't feel like picking it up, but it says, Dear to my heart. The card that fell on the floor says, Dear to my heart. Yes, somebody lost someone dear to them. We have skull, transition. Someone might have lost a loved one recently. Normally they would come and channel in, but I don't feel like they want your focus to be heavily on them. And if they just passed not too long ago, their soul is still going through a transitional period. However, the experience, you were meant to take something more from it than just mourning. And you needed to be reminded of that. For others, you're the one that's transitioning to a new phase of who you are. But whomever the loved one is that went over on the other side, they're a part of your team now. They're a part of your spirit team. We have TikTok. I feel like it's saying time is ticking on you getting yourself together, getting your health together. Time is also ticking on you realizing that you're this elevated being and you're meant to stand in the power of that. Don't let time pass you by because you're still putting up a wall, putting up a guard, feeling like you're alone and all this other jazz. We have Hallmark. Thinking of you, you're always on my mind. I also feel like, remember what I said also about like a imaginary friend? It's kind of like coming back. I feel like it's that, but also maybe a friend that used to assist you all the time and you had to move away from them, or they had to move, or you lost connection. They're all coming back in right now. And again, mystical being, there is a lot of communication coming from the stars above, from the heavens above. So you're going through this, and I mentioned this in another group. Scorpios go through like these little deaths, right? These experiences of transition every day until they reach this big metamorphosis that takes place. So some of you may resonate with crows, scorpions, I should say, and butterflies, and the transformation and metamorphosis of it all. There's so many lessons in your life right now, and the way that you put energy into it and the way that you perceive it will be how it manifests continuously. Accept that this transition, that this transformation is necessary. The loved one who went over to the other side is still assisting you, but they don't want your focus to be mainly on them right now because their soul still has to go through what it needs to in order to properly transition. They want your focus to be on life and vivaciousness. But in order for that to happen, you've got to accept the breakdown that took place and how it's leading you to the breakthrough, and then let yourself go through it. Not live in it, go through it. Release that tension, release those emotions, meditate more, do some breath work, take care of your health, elevate your mental state right now, and all that you need you'll see that it's always been around you. It'll reveal itself and you'll realize it's always been there. It's always been supporting you. It won't rain all the time. The sky won't fall forever. And though the night seems long, your tears won't fall forever. There's so much more that could be said to you, Pile 3, but I feel like I need to end your message right here for right now, my love. If you want something more personal, you can book that. I send you off with beautiful grace and love and all of the compassion and love that the world has to offer you and the stars above. Peace, love, and light, beautiful soul.
Get your copy of Love Confession Cyber Edition. Link in bio.